Welcome to Crime and Wine. I'm Pamela Fagan Hutchins, your host, and this is the show where I talk with other crime fiction writers about the stories of thrills and suspense that will leave you mystified, sometimes horrified, and always wanting more. Please join me in welcoming today's special guest. Hello, you guys. It's Pamela Fagan Hutchins. This is Crime and Wine, coming to you from the summer in Wyoming, where it was 92 degrees at our mountain home today, and it is currently 82 degrees in my bedroom. We're solar powered, have no AC, so if I start to sweat, let's just call it glowing, and we'll all be in this together, including my two very furry Malamutes who are less than loving it, let's just say. I do want to say how excited I am that I was able to get on live, because it took about 10 minutes of trying today. So I want to be sure and point out that we've already got commenters. Charlene, it's so good to have you here. And she's given us a cheery hello to my special guest today. So on Crime and Wine, I have someone who I think that is delightful. And I think you're going to not only enjoy hearing us talk, but you're going to love her books if you're not already a fan. So with no further ado, please join me in welcoming Margaret Mizushima. Hello.
Hi. Oh, it's such a pleasure to be here with you today, Pamela.
We have been talking online, but not in person for quite some time. So this is a treat.
Yes, it is. Agreed.
I had heard about your books and been familiar with them for so many years too. So when you guys, I have this, with my newsletter, I have all these special friends that we help basically our readers learn about each other's books. And I was a little bit nervous to approach Margaret because we didn't know each other in real life. It's like, she's going to think I'm a whack job.
Never.
We've become friends. So we are here to talk about the newest book in your Timber Creek Canine Mysteries, Standing Dead. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's been out for a little while, but it is the latest. So thank you. It's great to talk to you about it.
And it's my fault we didn't talk earlier. I had an issue and Margaret kindly let me reschedule for like 5 months later. So
yeah,
but that just means we're that much closer for them getting to number 9.
That's right. That's right. Coming up soon.
Coming up soon. Oh gosh, we've got, hi Margaret. Peg Brantley says she got here.
Hi, Charlene and Peg.
And we have somebody that has the same last name as me. This must be someone I know. My husband.
Hi, Eric.
He's also a fan. So, okay, for those people that haven't yet caught Mattie and Cole, your main characters in the Timber Creek Canine series, can you tell us just a little teaser on the series itself?
Well, it's set in a fictional town, Timber Creek, Colorado. So don't look for it on a map. And Timber Creek is up in the high country, sort of like where I grew up, which was in Saguache, Colorado. And that is on the map. It's in the San Luis Valley. I did take some of what I learned about small town living to put into the series. And yet I had to play fast and loose with the geography, because I really wanted it to be more highly forested and a little bit more in the wilderness area. There are 3 protagonists in this book. The first one is Mattie Cobb. That's how she starts her name out. Thankfully, we called the Timber Creek Canine series rather than the Mattie Cobb series, because she has changed her name through the series, but you have to read the books to find out why. Mattie is a canine handler, and her partner is Robo, who is about a 100-pound German Shepherd. And he was inspired by a real dog named Robo. So I'd love to talk a little bit about that soon. And then the third protagonist is a veterinarian named Cole Walker. And the 3 of those protagonists work together to solve crimes in this mountain community called Timber Creek, Colorado.
So who came first, Robo, Mattie, or Cole?
Cole came to me first. I had always wanted to have a series with a veterinarian in it because for 42 years I've been married to a vet. And I know that life really well. So I always wanted that series with a veterinarian, but not too many vets solve murder mysteries. So I decided medical mysteries maybe, but not.
Maybe, yeah.
So I decided it made sense for my sleuth to be a canine handler. And this being a small jurisdiction, Mattie gets to do quite a bit of the investigating, as well as Stella Lasasso, a secondary character who is the detective.
Awesome. So tell us about this Robo dog. I love that name.
I love that name too. My mother had a friend whose daughter was a canine handler in Bellingham, Washington. Her name was Beth. And Beth and her dog, Robo, who she handled and trained, were involved in a industrial accident. It was a warehouse explosion that they were investigating. They were searching through this warehouse.
Yeah.
And they were exposed to chemicals, and Robo, unfortunately, was too close and he was deafened.
Oh.
So Beth ended up coming back to Colorado from Washington to be closer to family while she was recovering, and she brought Robo with her because he was forced to retire. And they were so bonded and loved each other that it was a good thing, I guess, in the end. Unfortunately, I didn't get to meet her until after Robo had died of old age. But I did get to meet Beth. She let me shadow her while she was training clients to participate in AKC tracking trials.
Yes.
And then she was also training a German Shepherd of her own for evidence detection. So she let me shadow her. We sat for hours and she told me stories about Super Robo. He was a very highly trained patrol dog, also cross-trained for narcotics detection. And he was just one of the best. And so I wanted to fashion my dog Robo after him. And some people think Robo is really a wonder dog, kind of like Lassie. Oh, I've dated myself, I'm afraid.
I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm dated with you.
But the real Robo was every bit as talented and definitely the inspiration for my character Robo in the books.
I love that, and I bet Beth loves it too.
She did. I asked her permission to use
Yeah.
his name, and she said that would be very fun. And she gets a complimentary book every time a new book comes out. So
That's great. That's wonderful for her, and I bet she's great at also someone to seek for ongoing advice about canines. We just had a reader that's saying they loved Killing Trail and that your research really shows in the story. And Donna McKenzie has checked in and says hello. So,
hi.
now we are at number 8 in the series with Standing Dead.
That's
But
right. Killing Trail. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, and I interrupted you, not you, me. So, but Killing Trail's number 1, and while they are most gratifying as a series, you could read them in any order and jump in it and catch on with what's going on. But
the mystery stands alone in every book, I think, similar to a lot of people who write series. But if you want the backstory of these two characters, Cole and Mattie, you might want to read them all, starting with Killing Trail. Mattie and Cole is Mattie's love interest. And they both have baggage at the opening of the series. Mattie doesn't trust anyone. She's had a terrible childhood that she has repressed memories from, and she doesn't realize, of course, that she has these repressed memories. Those things come out during the series. Cole is recently divorced, and he is not interested in starting another relationship or anything. So they stay apart for a lot of books in the series, even though there's chemistry between them from the word go.
I love it. And so does Patricia Middleton, who says she's read them and loved them all.
Oh,
And
thank
Donna,
you.
who said she read the first one some time ago for a library book group. So hopefully she will be able to jump right in with Standing Dead. So we come to Standing Dead, number 8. And so with this one, what's the story and where did it come from for you?
Well, Standing Dead, I thought would be my last book in the series when I started thinking about it. I decided to end Mattie's backstory and have a culmination of everything that has happened to her so that my readers wouldn't be disappointed if I decided to retire. My husband and I were in the midst of closing down a 42-year-old veterinary practice and a cattle farm, and I was highly stressed. and I just thought, I can't continue to write these books. Luckily, my publisher hung in there with me. He gave me extra time between book 7 and book 8. And so it was wonderful to be able to go ahead and get that book out. And by the time we got that book out, I had my own office. I had my own home. And I was ready to go. So I wrote book 9, which is called Gathering Mist. I'm going to show you a cover real quick.
I love that cover.
And it comes out October 8th. And Mattie and Robo actually come to Washington State, which is where we moved from Colorado to Washington.
I was wondering if you would be incorporating your new environment into the books. I love that.
Just had to do it. They're in a fictional place near the Olympic National Forest, although it's in the state forest on the east side of the national park. And so, it was great. I loved putting together Gathering Mist. And Mattie comes out on a search and rescue mission for a celebrity's missing child. And an incident occurs with the dog team, all of the canines that are in the search and rescue team. And Cole becomes very afraid that Robo and Mattie might be in danger. And so he comes out too. So the two of them are fish out of water. And of course, they solve the crime and save the day.
I love it. And we have a very special person that's just popped in with a comment, our mutual friend, Kathleen Donnelly, who says that she loved Standing Dead. Such a great book.
Oh,
so
thank you for joining us, Kathleen. Kathleen is an inspiration too. She writes the National Forest Canine series, and she does such a great job with her books.
She does a great job, and in addition has her experience as a canine handler and trainer. So that's makes up for very interesting conversations with Kathleen. So with Gathering Mist, you've got the continuation of this beloved series. With Standing Dead, you've got instant gratification for those people that are which one is the latest one, and it's right there and it's waiting for us. So I absolutely love that. Now, since we have such a good group out there, I do want to encourage you guys that as we swing now into the speed round section of the show, where I ask roughly the same questions of Margaret that I do of other authors every time, is a completely new conversation, but it gives you the chance to understand the ways in which authors are the same and different. But you can ask your own questions. I am going to keep an eye on the comments.
And so if you have something that you want me to ask Margaret or that you want to ask her directly, please feel free to type it in the comments. So first and foremost, have you ever broken a bone?
Yes. Actually, so I used to be a pretty avid horsewoman, mostly riding ranch horses, herding
Yeah.
livestock, things like that. So just, very functional horses that worked on the ranch. We had a horse that was I actually entrusted to tote my daughters around. She was pretty gentle. And I went out one day to just ride her in the arena, and she bucked me off. And I ended up going down on my right arm, letting myself lead with the right arm, twisted the arm,
Oh,
which gave me a Montasia fracture, which is a dislocated elbow as well as a fractured bone.
that hurts so bad to hear.
It was
Oh,
broken. The ulna was broken in 5 places. They had to plate it back together. I wrote a story about it just for me that was called Agony in the Arena.
oh my goodness. Oh, oh,
And it was broken for a year. We finally had to graft it to get it to heal.
oh, Margaret, that's just horrible.
It was
I'm
awful.
laughing. I'm laughing in empathy. I've broken an arm falling from a horse and my butt bone. I broke my butt bone falling from a
Oh,
horse.
oh,
But
out.
that just hurts every day, but it's nothing like what you've described. It's minor pain every day. It's not major pain for oh my gosh, does it still hurt like weather changes and things like that? Can you
Well,
feel it?
unfortunately, one of the bone fragments really stretched the nerve to my hand. And so that nerve did heal. My hand was paralyzed for about 6 months.
Oh my
That
god.
nerve did heal. And so I have a functional hand, thank goodness. But the sensation in it is very strange. And it burns and it shoots and it does all kinds of funny things. And especially, like you said, when it's cold.
Yeah. And do you find that it is, an irritant when you're riding? Are you hampered by it?
I have carpal tunnel in that wrist. My left wrist is fine, but the ulna, when it was put back together, lengthened a little bit. And so that bone is a little strange in my wrist. So I have carpal tunnel in that wrist. I wear a nice brace on it while I type, and that's what keeps me going.
You know, you immediately sound like someone I should talk to about voice recording your books. I did it on a couple. It's hard as can be. I really find it hard, but it saved me when I was having hand troubles. But it's something to think about. Oh, so
Oh,
see what she does for you
definitely.
guys. Look what she does for you guys. She writes through the pain. This is
Just,
she
just so I can tell my stories.
right. They have to come out. They have to come out. Well, so when you talked about having an office, are you someone that likes to write in a set space, like you need to sit down in your office, or do you find that you can take it on the road and go anywhere with your stories and your writing?
As long as I have quiet, I can. I can't listen to music. I can't have the television on. So I can take it on the road in a motel room or something like that if
Yeah,
it's quiet.
it's
Which,
quiet.
if you have a partner you're traveling with, it's a little hard to
Yeah,
dictate that.
not
But,
always.
but yeah, I prefer my office.
Now, are you I wanna say a horse, dog, or cat person. I don't know how much you love horses anymore after your trusted companion tried to murder you. Um,
Yes.
I have to ask, I have to get back to that. Was she in heat? Was there an issue? Did you ever know what made her suddenly become a horse you weren't expecting?
Well, when my husband, she stayed in the arena until he got back. When he unsaddled her, there were no issues that he could determine. We think that she just didn't want to be ridden that day. It was September. It was late September. It was a hot day, and I can say she was really dragging those heels as I led her to the arena. And I think she just didn't want to. She just didn't want to go there.
She raised her level of communication.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, I've got these nieces right now that are wanting to ride our horses, and they do horse camp, and they come up and visit us in Wyoming. And I tell them every time they get on, and 13 and 10, they don't believe me. You don't ever really know the horse you have on that day until you get to know the horse on that day. They're chickens, they're all kinds of issues. And she may have been great yesterday, and she's not going to be great today. So my mare went into heat between day 1 and day 2. And on day 2, she was acting like a what. And I asked my niece to get off of her. I got on her, and she was doing all this weird stuff with her face and acting like a, complete jerk. And I finally just said, better to be a live chicken than a dead duck. This is not the day we're riding this horse. She was an angel yesterday. Today, she's worth nothing. Let's just get her away from us. And I'm so sorry that happened to you. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me tell you my story.
I'm so glad you did. And so I also wanted to ask you then, dog or cat person? We're going to leave the horses out of it now.
Well, both. Right now, we don't have a cat. We always have had a cat inside the house. We have 2 German short hair pointers right now.
Nice.
And so they made the move with us from Colorado, and they have adapted pretty well. One of them's 14 and the other one is 7. And it was pretty hard on the 14-year-old. She's an anxious dog anyway, but she's settled in now and everything's good.
Good. She has her people.
That's right.
And her younger Patricia Middleton wanted to give a special thanks to Books for the Blind, because her 94-year-old sister has listened to your entire series through Books for the Blind. That's great.
Awesome. That is great. Thank you, Patricia, for letting us know.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It is a wonderful program. And it's one of the reasons I love so much that we have the ability to put books to the spoken word. For me personally, and my vision is fine. It's just my ability to sit still is terrible. I love audiobooks. So I am very much looking forward to gathering mist on audio. So we'll do one last question before I let you get on with your evening out on the West Coast, where you guys tell them what temperature it is out there right now.
Right now it's 63 degrees. It started out today sunny and warm, around 69 by noon, and then the clouds rolled in and the mist. And it's 63 right now, and very cool, lovely day.
She's just taunting us now. She's just taunting us with her temperatures. So the last one I want to ask you is, we didn't even talk about your past career, but I'd like, in part of your answer, you mention it in some place in here. But if you could be something else other than an author for a day, a week, a month, a year, what would your dream other job be? Because I think you had a wonderful career already. You could go back to that for your answer, but what would your other dream be?
Oh, I think I definitely would want to be a detective for a day.
Yeah.
I would love it. And I'm not cut out for it at all.
Why? What is it?
That was my dream. I guess I am pretty good at analyzing stuff,
Yes.
So maybe that part I could be. Physically, I'd never be able to keep up. I admire Mattie in my books because she is so spunky and she is so fit, and she runs every morning so that she can follow Robo and make sure she can keep up with him, and not me.
Oh, but growing up as you did, ranching, the life you've led, you have to have some spunk too, my friend. Not going to bother that you don't.
We've faced some tricky situations with animals before.
Yes, I love it.
And then I marry a veterinarian, and the hits just keep on coming.
I tell you what, my very favorite series of all time is the James Herriot, All Creatures Great and Small, Things Bright and Beautiful, etc. Just loved it. Always wanted to be a vet until I realized it was blood and guts and smells and things, you know, hello. But I just absolutely find the stories that you're able to weave in because of your experience with the veterinary practice of your husband, you know, firsthand and up front, to just be such a wonderful add to the book. For me, that's just, I love it. I love it.
Oh, thank you. You know, people love to watch him work. And I thought maybe readers would love to watch a vet work on the
Yeah.
page. So I'm always thrilled when I hear from veterinarians or readers, any reader who really enjoys Cole's scenes.
The other thing that I've appreciated getting to know about you, mostly through stalking you online, but is that you and your husband have been very collaborative on some of the ideas for the stories. And I think I love that. I love partners that are able to partner on many different things.
Thank you. Me too. He's a lot of help. A lot of help.
And I had mentioned your past career because I think it's so fascinating, and wonderful what you did all these years before becoming a writer. But you were a speech therapist. Did I get that right? Or speech pathologist? Which
The two terms can be used.
can be used the same.
Yes. And yes, thank you very much. I really enjoyed working in the medical setting. I worked in a hospital for 10 years and then had my own clinic that was Medicare and Medicaid certified for another 10 years. And we had worked as a team with both children and adults, occupational therapy, physical therapy, and speech therapy. And it was a really great career.
One of the things that I think when you work really close with people and have to be able to really empathize with them, I think that leads to such great character development. You're used to trying to figure out what makes people do or not do, motivated, not motivated, what's getting in the way, what's not. And it really comes out in your books that you have an ability to get in and empathize with their point of view. So for
Oh,
those people that like great characterization, you're going to find it in Margaret's books.
well, good. Thank you so much, Pamela.
You are so welcome. And this was a lot of fun and long overdue. I appreciate how gracious you were with me when I had to put you off for a while. And
Oh, I just appreciate the invitation. It was not a problem at all.
well, we'll have to get together face to face again sometime without the internet watching.
That sounds great.
All right. Good luck on Gathering Mist. I can't wait for it. And thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So you guys, the series, the Timber Creek Canine Mysteries, starting with Killing Trail, running up through the latest release, which is Standing Dead, number 8, and the number 9, Gathering Mist, which is available for pre-order. I do think that for people that really like the Mountain West setting of my series that are set in Wyoming, for the people that like the veterinarian husband that I have in the Jen Harrington mysteries, for people that really like the Detective Delaney Pace and the adventure and a woman that has to be tough and strong to do her job, you're going to love Margaret's books. So go out and check them out. I don't have any new ones out. There's nothing standing in your way, right? I do want to shout out one more time to Kathleen Donnelly. Thanks for coming on. It was a great interview. Isn't she a delight? And I will have to, as always, do the Crime and Wine is a solely owned and operated production of Authors on the Air, Global Radio Network, copyrighted there. So, and it's listened to over 4 million viewers and listeners in 153 plus countries. You can get it in podcast or you can get it in videocast. I also try to end the show with talking to you about something that's a secret, right? Something I only announce at the end of a show. I did finish the first draft of Jen Harrington #2. It nearly killed me. I wrote 30,000 words in 5 days, actually 6, but I didn't write one of those days. For those of you that are writers, you know that that was a crazy thing for me to do, but I was that far behind on deadline. So that's news. Leaving for the British Virgin Islands for the first vacation that I've been able to get my husband to take for a year and a half, in 2 days with our kids. And then we moved to France. So the big announcement is this is going to be the last show for at least a year. Never say never. I told him that this is hiatus, not goodbye forever. But just in case it is, I want to thank you guys, everybody out there that's been tuning in and listening and commenting and reading and helping other authors that I bring on the show, reading their works, sharing information about the readers you love that you've discovered through the show. I want to thank you. And from the bottom of my heart, say, I will catch you whenever it is that I am next going to do this, which who knows? May not be. We shall see. All right. As always, we're going to see whether or not I can figure out how to turn my own show off. So 3, 2, 1. Bye, guys.
Thanks for joining us today on Crime and Wine, chats with crime fiction authors and Pamela Fagan Hutchins. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll check back in with us next time for more thrills, suspense, and stories that will mystify, sometimes horrify, and always leave you wanting more.